Hello. Oh. Okay.
Missed a spot.
Where? Hope you didn't come to Gaul.
No. To talk.
Turn around and wait.
I mean, you did... I guess she didn't invite us in, although you didn't know we were coming. Nifty, alright. Convenient.
KEIRA Metz, deep in the heart of Velen. Thought you hated the countryside.
I can assure you I do. Now more than ever.
Heard a witch lived out here. Never would have guessed it was King Foltest's former advisor.
Ah,
I'm so
okay, I was gonna
pleased
say,
the world's
clearly it
still
sounds
able
like you
to
two know each
astound
other.
you, Geralt. I actually envy you that sense of wonder. Common in children, knights errant, and morons.
Oh, alright. Care to elaborate on which one of those categories we fall under?
Is that any way to greet an old friend?
I believe I greeted you with a pleasant view. Now tell me what brings you here.
Good question. Okay, so remember that supposedly we can do the white dialogue chains, and those won't have any significance on the direction of the conversation. Those are mostly just for additional background, so we should probably talk about those first. What the heck are you doing in Velen if you are supposedly an old friend who used to be advisor to King Foltest in area when it was actually a, existing state?
So, bet you saw this question coming. What are you doing here?
Let me think. Enjoying the country air? Admiring the unspoilt scenery? Or is it furthering the age-old alliance between the city and its breadbasket? No. I'm in hiding, Geralt. Blind to the state of the world? Don't you see what's happening?
Mean the persecution mages now face?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Radovid's new pastime. Pursuing anyone with a whiff of magic about them.
So Radovid's
Witch
behind
hunters.
this.
Sound familiar? Murderers scouring the north from end to end, burning books, hanging soothsayers, torturing herbalists.
Okay. I mean, Velen is actually not very far from where, Redania once was. Is Redania still... I guess Redania's kind of still standing? So why Velen?
Picked a strange place to hide.
I didn't pick anything. In the north, Radovid's men hunt sorceresses like fish in a barrel. Nilfgaard controls the south. Where was I to flee?
Emperor does keep mages on a short leash, but he lets them live and ply their trade.
Radovid and Emma differ in every respect except one. They share a deep hatred of the Lodge of Sorceresses. And I was a member.
Oh, were you now? Okay. Alright. That is, well, has some
How's it feel
significance
to
to
be
the
the
events
village
that
witch?
transpired in Witcher 2.
Horrid.
No joy in having the boundless respect and trust of the local peasantry?
They'd respect anyone who could produce hemorrhoid cream.
Been here a while, haven't you?
Long enough for rot to set in. You cannot possibly imagine how much I detest this place.
Okay, but back to the topic at hand, and remind me what exactly that is. Mostly Ciri, although I'm not sure we've actually asked you about that yet.
Changing the subject.
Oh, yeah. So, other sorceresses that we've encountered thus far, obviously Yennefer, to a certain extent, and she was sort of one of the founding members, if I remember correctly. We had, in the past, in Witcher 1 and Witcher 2, talked a lot with Triss. We obviously had the most interaction with her, but we haven't seen her yet in Witcher 3, so it'd be interesting to see if KEIRA knows where she is. Other than that, theoretically, there could be a few other witches that we might
Any
catch
news
word
of
of.
your sisters from the lodge?
None. We can't know too much about one another these days. It's safer that way.
Even tried to contact one another?
I've wanted to many times. But I've no way of knowing who would answer, or who might be listening.
Oh. I was gonna say, also Sheila, theoretically, is still out there somewhere. She was supposedly from Kovir, which I believe is further north. that's a little more remote and maybe less likely for us to run into her sometime in the near future, if at all.
I'm looking for a certain young woman.
Maybe you've heard of her?
Oh, really? Who?
I mean, she's probably gonna see through this, but we'll give it a shot.
Apparently she quarreled with the local witch.
Someone's been feeding you horseshit. The girls around here are too stupid to quarrel with me.
Yeah, this
She's
girl
not
isn't
from
from
here.
here.
You're up to something, Geralt. If I'm to help you, you must tell me what's going on. Who are you looking for?
Yes, but see, you're powerful and I'd rather,
Ciri?
not just name drop like that.
Now I understand the secrecy, not to mention the brooding, the furled brow. And you say she had some sort of problem with a witch?
So you haven't seen her?
So it wasn't you.
I'm certain I haven't. But recently, someone asked me about an ashen-haired woman.
Oh?
He claimed she would stand out from the peasant crowd.
Okay. Who? What else? I mean, hopefully we'll get the chance to ask both these things, but I suppose let's start with who?
Who was it?
Not so fast, Geralt.
Ah.
No humble plea, no offering for the witch.
Few dozen eggs?
What's your rate these days? A couple dozen eggs? 3 hens, maybe?
My rate rises with every word you speak.
Oh, lovely.
I'm not sure you can afford the information anymore.
You're pricklier than I remembered. Isn't living in nature's lap supposed to be cleansing, calming?
Nature stinks.
Oh,
Oh,
well, you're
sod it,
pleasant.
don't give me that look. I know it's Ciri we're talking about. It was an elf, this individual who asked about Cirilla.
okay.
No flea-bitten Scoia'tael slob either, but an elven mage.
Go on. I mean, theoretically, the more words we ask her, the more this is going to cost us, but I have a feeling we might get off easy on that front.
What was an elven mage doing in Velen?
Well, I tried to ask him, of course, about everything.
Of course.
Oh, but you know how elves are. He asked many more questions than he answered.
Okay. But who?
He say what his name was?
He didn't. And he wore a mask. Very
Oh?
secretive all around, but I liked him. He was intelligent and composed.
He say what he wanted with Ciri?
Only that they were to meet in Velen. He wished to know if she'd arrived before he did.
Huh. Okay. Useful context, but I'm not sure we have enough information yet to place that in with all the other puzzle pieces. We don't have many puzzle pieces yet. But eventually,
Did he leave any
that
message
may
for
become
her?
significant.
No, but he asked that were I to meet her, I should lead her to him.
So you
Okay.
know where to find him?
Yeah, that was just, you know where he
Yes,
is.
he said he found a hideout in some elven ruins near the village of Midcops.
Oh.
I'll go there with you.
Oh!
Why? Think I'll have trouble finding this place?
I've unfinished business with this elf.
Oh.
He promised me something, but he never delivered it.
Oh,
Besides,
really, rabbits?
I know you think as I do, that she might be there. And I'd like to see Cirilla too.
Okay. Admittedly, did not expect this. It does seem as though we could potentially delay a bit here if there are other things we wanted to do first, but yeah, I expected for us to say hello to the witch would direct us somewhere else and we'd go investigate further solo, but she's going along with us. That's
Let's go then.
a bit of a surprise.
Yes, let's.
Presumably, she'll be a powerful ally. Northwest of the village of Byways, a few
This
hours
is the
later.
place.
Been here before?
No. I was hoping the elf would return as he'd promised, or else his waif would appear. At any rate, I've no idea what to expect from this place.
Neither do I.
Well, let's find out.
Okay,
Come on!
we follow KEIRA. Now, theoretically, well, let's take a look at where this actually is, if we can figure it out. Byways. Oh, did we? No, this was the question mark over here. So this was back. This was where those rates were. I was half expecting for us to end up back over here, even though we did ultimately find out that this was its own quest. And Byways. Trying to remember what we know about this location. Most of this area's residents have fled north or died of plague. In better times, they busied themselves making prize-winning bricks. Brick City sounds vaguely familiar. Might have been one of those locations that we ended up freeing. Fighting some monsters of some variety, and then they re-inhabited it. But yeah, I don't think we've gone over this way by ourselves yet, so okay. And KEIRA is, of course, shown up green like an ally. Just make sure. Here. Ew. The tear is coming. The dough is coming in with us, apparently. I don't know. I'm assuming KEIRA probably has a light bar herself. We'll probably want to make sure that we are staying relatively close by and making sure that she doesn't drop down. Because we've had that happen to us before. Have our allies, well, drop dead on us. Ooh, let's make sure we don't miss this, though. Basilisk decoction, as well as some useful crafting materials as well. Some time iridium. So it might have been helpful to upgrade some gear and whatnot before coming over here, but theoretically, this is a somewhat low-level quest.
What?
Excuse me?
Phantom Riders? That means... I thought they didn't exist.
Uh-oh.
Feast your eyes on the non-existent, then.
Yeah?
Got a navigator with them.
What?
Uh-oh.
Can you teleport us to the other side?
I'd rather teleport us home. Do you really mean to follow them?
Teleport. Hurry up.
Not sure I like any of this.
Okay. That may be, but... check this out. More silver. I like that. There's also more over here.
Follow me.
However...
Come on.
1 second! Seems like there's more goodies. Also, there was some quest for wandering in the dark? Go through KEIRA's portal? Okay, let's see what this says here. Finding Syrian Velen had proven harder than tracking a swallow on a rainy day. Apparently that's a thing. According to KEIRA, an elven mage had been tracking this particular swallow as well. Had he found her? Was this elf actually a member of the Wild Hunt? It said he was masked, or at least KEIRA did. Did he know more about her fate? Harold knew that he had to find out, and KEIRA, well, she had unfinished business of her own with the mage, and so the Witcher and Sorceress set out together on a journey into the darkness to find the mysterious elf's underground hideout. This sounds a lot like that elf is actually a member of the Wild Hunt. Barely had our heroes entered the underground chambers when they encountered the enemy. Wild Hunt had reached the spot before them. They, too, were searching for Ciri. Uh-oh. Okay,
Come
so...
on.
that's the poisonous gassy stuff. It will hurt us, presumably. Okay, hold on. Somebody might actually be attacking... KEIRA? Or I might have messed up big time by waiting so long that KEIRA went through the portal when we didn't. Wow, that hurt a lot, actually. Ow. The point where these guys could actually pose legitimate danger to us. And there's also water bog in here. We don't have the stamina yet. And you just snuck up behind me. We were probably gonna die here, quite frankly. Ow. Ow. Alright, mistakes were definitely made. That much is clear. That much is very clear, in fact. Heal a bit, but that's probably... should have done that earlier. This was a bad idea. I was thinking, oh, it's probably one of those situations where there's certain loot that's only available at this very specific point in time, and if you move and go through the portal immediately, then you'll miss it. You'll never see it again. That was our opportunity to take that guy out. And so I thought I was being smart. I appear to have been wrong. And as for whether KEIRA is no more, I don't know. Quite possibly. I don't also remember what we're technically supposed to do to fight the wild hag. There's a specific strategy. I'm pretty sure this might actually. You are theoretically kind of slow, taking slow. That's right. I saw that coming. Was that supposed to happen? Maybe. I don't know. Geralt was just like... maybe we're actually okay. Maybe I messed up big time. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. if we did truly botch the mission in its entirety, and of course I'll maybe double back in a little bit of save scumming, but that also helps brighten things a bit. Something red over there, which suggests that
KEIRA?
perhaps, well, I mean, if it's just like suent mushrooms and other mushrooms down here and not much else, then probably wasn't worthwhile. But if there's, say, really awesome things over here, like, ooh, on the owl, I think is a very good potion. Some relic armor, other good crafting materials.
KEIRA?
Okay, starting to convince me that this might have been worth giving it a shot, but uh-oh, hold on. She's still alive, apparently. But one moment, KEIRA, while we check our loot, because that's more important, apparently. I think this was the weapon we just picked up, and it is theoretically a small upgrade from what we currently have equipped. That may be because this has 76 durability, and our current sword, let's do the comparison. Oh, it's not like that, it's this. Yeah, our current sword has 17, so theoretically if we had repaired our current sword, then it probably would still be better than the one that we just picked up. And the sword we have equipped also has the 3 rune slots, so we could upgrade it further. So that's a thing. Theoretically, we could swap it right now for a short-term gain, very minor short-term gain, but that might still be worthwhile, and then ultimately we'll repair the old one. Is this the relic armor we just picked up, or was it this? I think it was this. Also, theoretically an upgrade. Also, likely because it has more durability than the armor that we are currently wearing. This other relic armor, not quite as good. Okay. Yeah. Also has the adrenaline point gain. And slightly different resistance. It's way more resistance to slashing damage. It does also have a rune slot as well. Okay, kind of despise the colors. Whose idea was it to put red stitching on that? I don't know. Oh, and did we... I know we got a bunch of trophies recently. Or a little while ago. Are we still using the best trophy for us? No. The answer is definitely not. Because this here, Griffin Trophy... Oh, well, experience versus chance to dismember. Okay. Yeah, I think experience is probably still the way to go. Probably? Maybe? Sort of? And mostly just random loot here, nothing that we would actively use at the moment. And likewise here. Okay. So I'm thinking that KEIRA is still alive. Let's check our quest log, see what it says. Go through KEIRA's portal. No, you failed. Apparently had our heroes. Okay, no. Same description. Okay. So I am curious as to what happens from here on out. I'm hoping that KEIRA is not about to die. We may or may not be kind of sort of on a timer right now. But also there's loot to be had. So, like, priorities? I don't know which one is more important, quite frankly. This would suggest that we are technically supposed to head in this direction. And I think we got some good stuff. Maybe we didn't get absolutely everything, but in the interest of getting a little bit of a balance between... Really? Really, KEIRA?
Stay calm. They're only rats.
I hate rats.
Curious?
Geralt!
Okay. Sure. I'm just trying to destroy it. Okay, hold on.
What now, you?
We'll punch the rats to death, just to prove to you that you totally could have done this yourself.
Do you know the diseases they spread?
Get over here. Ugh. I'd like to destroy the nest. I know it's over here. Do I have to punch you to death as well? Okay, admittedly, if you could stop spawning, so that I could actually, you know, like,
Do you know the
get rid of them.
diseases they spread?
Alright, fine, we'll draw a sword. I mean, they're not actually, well, actually, it's actually, theoretically, wasting, weapon durability. I wanted to use Igni, not Gwen, thank you very much. I disagree with what you just did. I also did not want to swing the sword. They're breaking through the Quen. Oh no, we're doomed. Whatever are we going to do? You're still not dead? Can I please destroy this location? Can I? Are you serious? And I know they keep on coming out, but like, it was telling me a minute ago that I was supposed to destroy these things, and then they're, well, it's not appear to be an option to destroy them anymore, so am I actually supposed to just punch these guys? That's what I wanted to do.
Disgusting.
And that may be, but still. Destroy the rat's nest with signs. Oh, with signs of on. There we go. I was expecting the problem. We may still be able to double back here a bit. That was actually enough to level. Okay, cool. We may be able to go back. I'm not sure if we will or not. See if there's more to do. Flash loot.
Fine, won't say anything. So what happened to you?
There's something here. Something that distorts teleportation. I've no idea how they managed to get to the other side problem-free.
Wild Hunt's teleportation magic is different. Got specially trained mages for that. Navigators, they call them.
They can have 3 helmsmen and a parrot for all I care. I'll not risk that again.
Let's go. Wild Hunt got a good head start on us, but we still stand a chance.
Do we actually need to
Have you
be
gone
speedy? Or can we
completely mad?
look around and
We
find
must
other stuff?
leave here at once.
No! Okay, so... theoretically, this might convince KEIRA to leave, and we just go by ourselves. Might that be useful if there's actually some risk of KEIRA dying here if we mess up? Maybe. If we hurry, then maybe we actually catch them. That might... if we are legitimately on a timer, then that might be significant. And this seems like a little bit of a middle ground. Let's try this route.
I gotta know what the Wild Hunt's doing here.
But we came to find the elven mage, not fight the hunt.
If they reach him first, we won't get a chance to talk to him. Besides...
Go on, finish. Wait, you've got some special interest in the hunt. Is this about Ciri? There's something you've not told me, isn't there?
Come with me and maybe I will.
Are you always like this? I'm beginning to feel sorry for Triss and Yen.
Oh, very well.
That
Let's
look.
go.
Okay, let's see if there's anything that suggests that we are actually somewhat timed here. Explore the Elven Ruins and look for information about the mage. Doesn't say anything about there being a timing aspect to it. We did also level up, so there is that. Like, could we theoretically double back a bit? Also, there's... So, if we were to say... Look here. Oh, that's not helpful. Hold on. Wasn't there a way to change from the world map to a more specific map? Oh, and there are other ways we can customize the things that are showing up and not showing up, but that's beside the point. I mostly wanted to see a map of this actual area here. This is, I believe, where we came through. This is where I'm most curious as to whether we might have missed something. There was at least one very nice chest. Is there anything else? Can we light this? Thank you. Of course, there were monsters over here before. At least some. Will there continue to be more? Don't really know. Probably going to be all sewer mushrooms of various varieties. Probably not terribly important to us. Is there anything at the top of this staircase? Yes, there is. A runestone. Not bad. Okay. That might suggest that at the top of other areas we might find more things and potentially take fall damage. I feel like we might have just jumped over something that would have had something there. Maybe I'm making that up. Okay. So let's try here as well. Alright. Ruby dust. might have some value. Bear fat, a little bit for crafting purposes, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as good as some of the other stuff that we found. And we light things up a little bit more, though. Not really making a huge difference when we do that, but I suppose it's something. Is this anything here? Is that just another thing we can light up? Yes. A ladder? Anything hiding around this corner? I were some valuable loot hiding in an obscure dungeon. Where would I be? I would think somewhere in one of these obscure corners. But we may have found the vast majority of things. This looks like another spot, however. It might be of note. Ooh. Deer? What are you doing in here? This is not a good place for you to be. Wanted to see if we can get up. We can jump that? We can jump that? Wow. That's impressive, Carol. Except there may not actually be anything over here. Or maybe there is? What the heck? Huh? There absolutely is. Something down there. I feel like we're probably jumping the gun big time here. This is intriguing. Don't mind if I do. As for what will end up on this other side here, remains to be seen. Also, we may or may not run out of breath here. I really feel like we were probably going in the, wrong direction slash, like I said, going way out of order here. Doing this way too early, but let's look. Those are really gloves? I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. Okay. At least that appears to be that. It's not like we're about to start this whole, or shortcut past a whole bunch of components of the mission, which would presumably not be a good thing. Let's check out those gloves we just found. Right here. Cavalry gauntlets. They are worse than what we currently have. However, we did get some crafting recipes, so I think going down this route was still significant. We did level as well. We should probably take a look at that. We have, what, 1 skill point, and trying to remember what, if anything, we were thinking we wanted to target next. Yurden, we've leveled up once. Gwen is fully leveled up, at least as far as we can level it up right now. Oh, we have another slot for a skill. And we actually lost our mutagen. Azul's mutagen can give sign intensity. Not as much as a greater blue mutagen, but these other ones here that we have picked up that we saw. Ooh, 5% attack power is not bad. That we saw was usable for some crafting purposes, like making potions, and also equip them, much like other mutagens. I think we'll stick with the greater blue ones, because those seem like they are pretty plentiful with how many blue mutagens we found, and they're also arguably the most powerful ones we have at this stage. So that's not bad. Oh, except we should actually upgrade things here. What is this one? Oh, that's just the mutagens. Okay, gotcha. Think people were saying that we ought to spend a little more time on the alchemy. Now, I'll admit, alchemy is not one of the things that is most appealing to me about the game. So, I mean, I'll do it here and there. But, and I've heard that it is, of course, quite strong. It just, to be brutally honest, does not interest me as much as the combat and the story. So, maybe I'll take a little bit of the alchemy skills here, but for that reason, they don't appeal to me quite as much. One of your core abilities, let's see, Frenzy. Toxicity is above 0, meaning if you have taken a potion recently, time automatically slows when an enemy is about to perform a counterattack. Every known level 1 alchemy formula increases maximum toxicity by 1. We actually want to... Well, increases maximum toxicity by 1. So the more potions you learn, the more you can take long term. Time is slowed a further 15% while aiming bombs. Maybe? It is a... Well, I suppose it's been a long time since I've tried aiming bombs in Witcher 3. I'm thinking back to Witcher 2, and it was quite a pain to throw anything. So, the additional slow might be helpful. Oil applied to blades gives a 3% chance of poisoning the target on each hit. Chance is greater the higher the level of oil used. Maybe. That sounds the most convincing of all these ones thus far, because it ties in most well with the more sword-centric playstyle, whereas the other ones seem like they're more specific to going all in on the alchemy. Increases potion overdose threshold by 75 to 80%? Potion duration? Well, I don't even know what that means. So if I were to go a potion route, an alchemy route, I would probably use poison blades. Otherwise, let's just take a look here at some of the other signs would probably be the other thing I would look to do. Upgrading our Axii, I think, sounds very good to me, because that is something that we saw recently. Using in dialogue options can be quite good, and give us some new options, and also I think it helps us negotiating the prices for some of our Witcher contracts, and also just in combat. Next level, target does not move toward Geralt while he's casting Axii. Useful. Increases the effectiveness of Axii in dialogues, like I was saying. Reduces Axii casting time. That is also nice, because it does take a little while to do it. Failed Axii attempts stagger the target. That is useful as well, because if the Axii does fail, then you're kind of left there standing in front of a bunch of enemies who are about to whack you. So I'm leaning strongly toward that. Otherwise, upgraded Yrden again. Igni melting armor damage dealt by Igni also permanently weakens enemy armor. Effect scales assign intensity up to a maximum of 15%. That does sound good. Ard range, not as... Ard is probably the sign that I've been least attached to thus far. Back in The Witcher 1, it was absurdly good. Even in Witcher 2, I suppose, there were some instances where it was very helpful. Where you would just non-stop cast Ard and stagger people, and basically just swing sword, stagger. Swing sword, stagger. Until they couldn't even fight back. That, I think, is not going to be terribly feasible in Witcher 3, because the way in which we regenerate our stamina is a little bit different, and we can't spam it quite as easily as we could in the previous Witcher games. So, for that reason, yes, on occasion, not to say that Ard is not still useful, I just think that scaling it up does not appeal to me quite as much as some of the other signs. I'm actually kind of tempted by this Igni here. You've not tried this yet? Let's acquire this. Granted, we do of course only have a limited number of abilities that we can equip at once, so we want to be a little bit careful of when and where we are using different ones, or unlocking different ones, because like right now, for example, we'd have to choose between Igni or Yrden. I think we specifically kind of chose Yrden for when we were doing some of those Wraith battles. We have Strong Back as one of the passive ones that we're not using at the moment, but I think that is not relevant right now. Well, actually, it's close to being relevant, because we're close to 90 weight. But for now, I think let's go with the Igni. Oh, we can also attach to this? What? I assumed it was only the one right next to it. Wow. Okay. That seems extremely good, then.